श्री श्री किशोर किशोरी की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय। कि जयो जयो गौरा चंदेर आरती के शोभा। कि जानवी तट बने जगमान लोभा। जानवी तट बने जगमान लोभा। दाखीन निताई चाँद बामे गदाधार। शिव दाखीन निताई चाँद बामे गदाधार। निकटे अद्वैता श्रीनी वास छत्रधारा। निकटे अद्वैता श्रीनी वास छत्रधारा। बसी आछे गौराचाम रत्न सिंहासने। शिव बसे आछे आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गणे। आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गणे। नर हरि आदि शिव नर हरि आदि कोरी चमार ढुलाए। संजय मुकुंद वासु घोष आदि गाए। संजय मुकुंद वासु घोष आदि गाए। शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल। बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल। मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला। मधुर मृदंगा बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे। शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे। शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे। शंख बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे। मधुर 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 बाजे। निताई गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर बहु कोटि चंद्र जीने वदन उज्ज्वला बहु कोटि चंद्र जीने वदन उज्ज्वला गलदे से बनमाला कोरे झलमाला गला दे से बनमाला कोरे झल शिवा शुक नारद प्रेम गदगदा शिव शिवा भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरारा संपदा भक्ति विनोद देखे गौरारा संपदा गौरंगेरारती शोभा जग जन मान लोभा गौरंगेरारती शोभा जग जन मान लोभा गौरंगेरारती शोभा जग जन मान लोभा गौरंग जग जन मान लोभा जग जन मान लोभा निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय 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 गोविंद राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Jai Baladev Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Jai Kishore Kishori 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 Jai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol जय ओम विष्णुपदा परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अस्तोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपदा परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अस्तोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। अयोध्यापुरी धाम की जय। द्वारिकापुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी भक्ति महारानी की जय। संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। बृहत मृदंग की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि। All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hari Hari Bol.
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlada Daine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narasimha Bahir Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade Tava Kara Kamala Vare Nakam Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhenga Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Kan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, ki jai. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all for joining for our Sunday Feast program here at Sri Sri Kishore Kishori Temple. We welcome you all on behalf of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Is there anybody who's called for the first time? Shri Shri Kishore Kishori Bhagwan ki jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramani ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. So is there anybody who has come for the first time? Can you raise their hands? Anybody for the first time? So we have a small gift for you if you can, if anybody is there. Okay, nobody. Oh, that's nice. So all old timers. Very good. So before we begin the program today, I just have a quick announcement. On this Thursday, which is 2nd of February, we have a festival at our temple. This is appearance day of Sri Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And we will be starting our festivities at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. It will go on till 8 p.m. Nityananda Prabhu is the personality who is right, on this side of the altar. So we will see there will be a lot of kirtan, and there will be a small talk about the significance of his appearance and who this personality is. And then we'll have prasadam. So please do come and join us 6 p.m. 2nd of February, Thursday. So today's program, we have His Grace Gaurmani Prabhu. He's right there. He's going to give the Sunday feast talk, and his topic is overview of the Bhagavad Gita. We'll welcome him with big, loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. So how many of you know, or who knows, how long did Krishna take to say the Bhagavad Gita to Arjun? Yes, bro. 45 minutes. There you go. 45 minutes. But we are not that good. So we will just talk about the overview of the Bhagavad Gita in the 45 minutes we have. Okay? Because neither we are going to be so fast to speak, nor you are going to be so fast to understand. So today his topic is overview of the Bhagavad Gita. So please come a little forward. So anybody who is want to take a darshan can go from there. And he'll be sitting here, facing here. So please keep your mobiles on silent, please. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shimati Indijuna Swami Nitinamane Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Navasesa Sunyavare Kyaskatara Setarane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane Om Mangena Antimaranda Shya Ganangana Shalakaya Chakshurahum Yalitam Nina Tesmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stam Dam Yena Bhutale Swayamu Pam Kadama Yam Dati Swabadantikam Jai Hare Krishna Prabhu. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Bhajana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Bhajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo bolo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Premananda. Hare Bol. Oh, glories to you all. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasha, Kripa Sindhu, Vacha, Patitanam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Okay, I need your blessings today, you all, to get through this one. I don't know what I was thinking about when I was said I'd give an overview on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. I mean, who do I think I am? You know, Srila Prabhupada has laid it all out. And who do I think I am? It's like giving an overview of Britannica Encyclopedia, please. There's so much there. There's so much to unpack. But we'll make our attempt, and with your blessings, we'll get something out of it. Hopefully, each one of you. I hope to break it down for you to understand it. I'm going to try to talk in simple terms. And the reason that I'm doing this is because somebody's come to the conclusion. I'll say we because we're all part of the temple here. We're going to really delve into the Bhagavad Gita this year and get some real deep understanding from the Vaishnavas. And so this is the beginning of that, January, the beginning of the overview of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, the Bhagavad Gita reveals what's called the most secret of all secrets. And that's Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our relationship with Him. It's broken up into 3 sections consisting of 6 chapters each. There are 5 subject matters that are thoroughly presented by Krishna, thoroughly explained. That's time, karma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, the living entities, and material nature. So we'll briefly discuss these 3 different sections, and I'll start here. Lots of people want to know, why am I here? Who or what is God? And what is the goal of life? Why am I here? Basically, it's because of our karma. And we're here to learn how to get out of this material world. Who am I? I'm a spirit soul. I'm a servant of Krishna. Who or what is God? Krishna is the super soul, the cause of all causes, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. Now, this yoga that we practice here is called Bhakti Yoga. And this yoga is for us to link up with God. The soul links up with the super soul. Srila Prabhupada considers the following 2 verses the essence of the Gita. Man manabhava mad bhakto ma yajimam namas kuru. Mam ivis yaisi satyamte pati jane priyo shime. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. That's a very important point right out from the start. Because you are my very dear friend. Arjuna, well, let me start here. There was this big ruckus going on between the Kauravas and Pandavas, these two families, and one king was blind. Well, one brother was blind. Pandu's brother was blind. He couldn't take the throne because of his blindness. So it was supposed to go to his other brother, but somehow, to make a long story short, he took over the kingship, and he wanted to take over the whole kingdom. The Pandavas, who Arjuna is a part of, that side of the family, they were exiled. They went through a whole bunch of changes, trying to beg for some land. And pretty soon, the king told them, I wouldn't give you enough land to fit on the head of a pin. So this is all precipitating this fight that's about to start. And the Bhagavad Gita starts where Arjuna asks Krishna to pull him up between the two armies so that he could see who he's going to have to fight with. Arjuna is a warrior, and he's trained all his life to be a warrior. He's got, when Krishna pulls him up in between the two armies, he looks and sees on the other side who he's got to fight with is his relatives and teachers, people that he held in high esteem all his life. And he got weak, and he said, oh, excuse me, he got weak, and he said to Krishna, why should I fight? These are my people. What good is it to have a kingdom and I kill all my people? I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. It's not worth it. One side chose Krishna, the army, Krishna's army, and one side chose Krishna to be. And so Krishna has agreed not to fight. So here we go with this 45-minute conversation. The second verse that Srila Prabhupada points out is Sarva Dharmam Parityajye Mam Ekam Saranam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksayis Yami Ma Sucha. He says simply, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So the first of the three sections is dealing with karma yoga. This conversation between Arjuna and Krishna is being transmitted to Sanjaya, who's giving a synopsis of what's going on. He's telling what's going on, what Krishna's talking about, and what the two armies are doing. He's explaining it to the blind king. And so that's how we get to understand this song of God. So Arjuna becomes overwhelmed with compassion. And here in the beginning, Krishna starts to talk about the soul. He explains about the soul to Arjuna. That's the first thing we have to understand in order to be able to understand Bhagavad Gita. And the words that Prabhupada says is Aham Brahmasmi. I'm a spirit soul. How many people know they're not this body? That's not very much, not very large percentage of people here. But we don't know. We haven't been taught. We think we're the body. That's our disease. Let me say it again. That's our disease. And Krishna explains, he begins to explain about the soul here. And he talks about how one should do their prescribed duty. It's like, take for example, things that you like to do, you do for nothing. You do it because you like to do it. Or if you got paid for it, that would make it even a little better. If you say you were a painter and you just painted and you love painting. But if you were able to sell a painting, that would make you feel better. But you do it anyway. You do it out of love. So Krishna begins to talk to Arjuna about work, being detached from work. And this detachment from our work brings us knowledge. This is called Nishkama karma. Karma, we've all heard of karma, is that right? Everybody heard of karma? Well, karma is, if you don't know what it is, it's action and a reaction, cause and effect. So that's why I said the reason we're here in the beginning is because of our karma. Being eternal beings, we've been here or we've been somewhere before, and the actions that we partake or partook in cause us to have these bodies that we have now because of our desires. We got wrapped up in mortal mind. We got wrapped up in a false ego. And we got wrapped up in a small amount of material intelligence. And that's called the subtle body. The subtle body wraps the soul and takes the soul from one embodiment to another. Krishna is going to explain all this in Bhagavad Gita. So this is just an overview. So I know you're going to have a lot of questions. And that means you got to come back to the temple so we can explain it all out to you through this year. So don't be a stranger. Just know and think about it. Since a lot of us don't know that we're not the body. We don't say I hand. I don't say I paper or I microphone. I say my microphone, my paper, my hand, my clothes. Is that true? That means I'm something different. I am not my hand. I am not this microphone. I am not the apartment that I live in. I can say my house, my apartment. And I live there for some time and then I move away and somebody else moves in and they say the same thing. This is my apartment. This is my house now. And I say the same thing about some other place. So at the time of death, whatever is on our minds, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, we're going to get that. And that's what we have to prepare for because we are eternal. The only difference between a live and a dead body is if we're in it or if we're out of it. All the people that love us get rid of us as soon as we leave the body. They get rid of that body. They don't mind. But the love they have for you is not for the body, it's for you, the spirit inside the body. So Krishna begins to talk about action and renunciation, and this confuses Arjuna. But Krishna is explaining to him that he should act in the right way to set an example. That's what we should do. That's what we have to learn to do as devotees or as people, just to get along in this material world. There's so much envy and ignorance and animosity and people trying to control people that we don't get along very well with one another. Krishna begins to teach transcendental knowledge. Transcendental knowledge is outside of the modes of material nature. And we'll get to talk about that a little bit in a minute. Arjuna is still confused, and Krishna is emphasizing this karma yoga, and he's emphasizing renunciation. And he explains the real renunciation when you do your duty, you do what you do it for Krishna. That's bhakti. That's love and devotion to Krishna. What happens is, this is the only actions that we can perform that won't make a karmic reaction for us that we have to live out someplace. Sometimes we have a lot of good karma, and we might go to a heavenly planet. Sometimes we have bad karma, we go to a lower planet, or God forbid, we even go to a lower species of life. Demonic personalities, they devolve down into those lower species of life, which it means they take a less than human body. So this frees the spirit, the living being, and allows them to be able to become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Krishna begins to explain the two Ashtanga yoga, the two stages, advanced and beginning. And yoga is designed to control the mind. I got a little interjection here too, talking about controlling the mind. We've been very, very blessed to somehow come into Srila Prabhupada's world and understand about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna's advent personality himself 500 years ago. He gives us a easy way, because in this age we live in, there's so much ignorance and so much quarrel, and we get so easily overcome by the material nature. He gives us this chanting of the Maha Mantra. The Maha Mantra is Krishna. How many people know that? We chant together, and that's what we should do. That's good. But how many people know that the Hare Krishna mantra is Krishna? That's better. So then we go into the second part of the Bhagavad Gita. where Krishna begins to understand, I mean, not understand, but to explain about bhakti. He's describing this, what's called a yoga ladder, where we come from conditioned life, where we know nothing, and then we start to elevate our consciousness from one level to another based on these different yogas or these different practices. Now, we have to, the reason we go through these practices, is so that we can begin to gain some realization and some knowledge of Krishna. We don't know that in the beginning, but that's the goal. The goal of yoga is to learn who you are. You're a servant of Krishna. You're a spirit soul. And so as a spirit soul, there's some activity. What do I do as a spirit soul? We should ask that question. What do spirits do? Well, we serve. We serve God. That's the answer. So it starts off the second 6 chapters where Krishna explains about submissive hearing. So Arjuna is hearing his friend talk. He doesn't know Krishna is God right now. All he knows is, that's my boy, that's my guy. You know, we roll together. No matter what. I picked him instead of picking the whole army because this is my guy. We roll together. This is the love they had between each other. They loved each other. What does Krishna accept? What does Krishna accept? He accepts our love. When we offer food, he says, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, offer me water or food or leaf with love. This is what we have to work on, this love. Because love for Krishna opens the door to realization. So, this submissive hearing opens the door to knowledge about Krishna and his energies as well as his all pervasiveness. We, small living entities, we get covered by material nature very easily. And we have a habit. We are all addicted. And the mind plays on us. Our own mind. It plays on us. And it does it all the time. Think about it. Inside your own head, there's a voice that's yours. You can think and you can direct your thoughts. But the mind throws up thoughts that you don't think, they just come up. The mind throws these thoughts up. But because we think we're the body, we think that mind and those thoughts are us thinking. That's why I say that's our disease. It's important to know there's a voice that's ours, there's the mind, and then there's Krishna's expansion as Paramatma, which he's going to explain. He expands and guides us, puts the guard rails up for us, hoping that we won't go off track, that we will one day turn to him and realize, how could I say it? Planet Earth is a hellhole. This isn't a place to be. Prabhupada used to say, this isn't a place for a gentleman. There's so much going on, crazy all the time. So this, when we do what we do and we offer it as a sacrifice to Krishna, this cleanses us. It cleanses our mind when we chant. It cleanses our heart of all these unwanted things. The impious will never surrender to Krishna. Now, the impersonalists, sometimes they worship the devatas, the demigods. Some consider Krishna to be impersonal or just a myth, and others approach Krishna with ulterior motives, which is better than not approaching Krishna at all. Some people approach Krishna for him to relieve their distress. Some are inquisitive. Some desire money or wealth. And some people come to Krishna for knowledge. He explains all this. And the pure devotee only wants to please Krishna. So that's where we have this opportunity to transform our lives. Instead of living a regular, mundane life, we can live a transcendental life by doing what we do as an offering to Krishna. And because it's transcendental activity, we're not building up karmic reactions, and we're beginning to see things as they really are. That's the point. Flip the script on what you do and make it transcendental. Krishna explains that whatever we think of at the time of death, we're going to get that. So what do we do before we die? We have to practice thinking of Krishna. Practice thinking of Krishna. And every time the mind goes off, we have to bring it back. And we do it. We do this all the time. When we're chanting, we're thinking of Krishna. Then all of a sudden, our mind comes in and say, hey, think of something else. If we're lucky, we can bring it back. Sometimes Paramatma has to remind us, hey, you've been thinking about the Bears football game for 10 minutes. Don't you think you all should be thinking about me? So observe in your own space what I'm talking about, because I can tell you about it, but you have to experience it in order to make it real for you. Okay? When you see the mind throwing up some thought, analyze, is this a thought I would even want to think about? Or I would never think of that thought. Where did that come from? Transform it into something good. He explains the fallacy of living in the material world. We're trying to enjoy it, but there's nothing to enjoy. Why? Because once you know who you are, spirit, soul, servant of Krishna, Nothing else matters. You're able to detach yourself. And Krishna says later in Bhagavad Gita, with the weapon of detachment, with the acts of detachment, separate yourself from these material things. Krishna begins to talk about what's called in the ninth chapter, the most confidential knowledge. He's talking about pure bhakti. It's the king of education, Raja Vidya, he's called it, because it gives direct perception of the absolute truth. This is what we want, each and every one of us. We want direct perception of Krishna. Make that your life goal. And it shouldn't take forever to do it, because Krishna's already said, just surrender to me. But you have to, when you surrender to Krishna, you have to know that you can't trick him. You got to be sincere. The sincerity counts. It goes a long, long way in order for you to understand what Krishna is telling Arjuna here and what I'm trying to relate to you today. Krishna explains that he's the source of everything in the material and spiritual worlds. But nobody can know him completely. And then Arjuna wants him to explain something about himself. Because Arjuna couldn't understand. Krishna tells him, I explained this to the sun god millions of years ago. And the sun god explained it to his son, Vivasvan. And Arjuna was confused. He's like, I know you from being around here, man. You know, how can you say millions of years ago you explained this? And Krishna tells him, well, I can remember everything. You can only remember what's in this life. You don't remember where you were last in your last life. So Arjuna wants to see Krishna's all-pervading. What is it called? Vishvarup. So Krishna gives him the divine vision to see this universal form. And when Krishna displays the universal form, Arjuna sees unlimited eyes, unlimited heads, unlimited everything. He sees time, and he sees how time devours everything in the material world. That's when he first begins to realize that Krishna is God, the big shot, not the demigod, but the cause of all causes, the absolute truth. In this universal form, he could see demigods. He could see so much, unlimitedly. That's what we want. We want a vision where Krishna gives us these transcendental eyes to see. So after he saw it, then he says, well, please just come back to your two-arm form. That's kind of overwhelming, you know. Same way we would be if Kishore just showed us all his universal form right now. We'd be like, whoa, that's too much. Just give me a little bit at a time. I can't take too much. I'll be crazy for real, you know, to the world. But the path that we take where we worship Krishna as a person is easy. And it's simple. It's not something complicated, you all. No matter what level you're on, you can come to Krishna. In the last section, Arjuna poses 6 questions to Krishna. He wants to know about the material nature, the enjoyer, the field, the knower of the field, knowledge, and the object of knowledge. And Krishna explains all this to him. That's why you got to come back to the temple, you are. You got to associate with devotees so you can hear these things, so you can know. It's sadhu sangha. The association of devotees is so vital because you're not going to get this information anyplace else but from a devotee. And Srila Prabhupada, it's a pure devotee. They gave it to us. If you can't come to the temple, read Prabhupada's books. Have discussions amongst yourselves and with people, newcomers. Make friends with one another. One thing I want to tell you about this bhakti yoga that I know to be true. When you serve together, when we serve together, you all, we make friends with one another. I've been coming to the temple a long, long time. And I've found that being in service with other people makes lasting relationships. That's one thing we should do. Let me reiterate this about this service. Here, each and every one of us should find a service to do in this temple, no matter how small it may be. It doesn't matter. It's the heart. Like, take for example, I'm a little off track, but take for example, there's an elevator here. There are a lot of older devotees. Who wouldn't mind taking the service to learn how to operate the elevator and take the devotees up and down so that they don't have to walk all those stairs just to get prashadam? Is anybody here would love to do something like that? That's not good. One person, I saw 3 hands, and they're all ladies. Brothers, you all should be ashamed because you don't know the value, though. I understand. This devotional service is going to save your life. It's that important. If I were to ask someone, would you go and sweep the temple floor after the program? Would anybody volunteer to do that? Okay, we got more hands. We got more hands. But that's the spirit that we have to gain. We have to bring it into our hearts, this service. Because without loving Krishna, let's slow it up. Let me pump my brakes right here. Think about it. If you like somebody, you kind of think you might be in love with somebody, and they don't know it. What do? You have to find out about them. You have to find out what they like. You have to find out who their friends are. Then you start to acting in ways that would please that person, that would attract them to you. Is that right? When you were in high school or something like that, there was somebody you liked, you found out from their friends who they are, what they do, what they like, and you try to appear on that scene in that way. That's what love is. That's what love is. Love isn't. Krishna talks about this too. People come to him for so many reasons that are related to themselves, but not related to him. People come to Krishna and say, well, give me this. I need a job. I need a whatever. I need a wife. I need a husband. I need a new car. Yeah, you can get it, but that's not the best way to come to Krishna. You come to Krishna, you say, hey, Krishna, what can I do to please you? And he says, oh, just take those bags downstairs off the altar for me. Would you take the bags downstairs, or would you just look at it and wait for somebody else to do it and act like you didn't hear Paramatma talking to you in your heart? Think about it. You can't fool Krishna. He's in your heart. He knows he's giving you the impression, okay, there's bags over there. Go get them. And you worry about going upstairs to get some prasad, but you miss your opportunity to serve. Wake up and smell the coffee, people. This is what it's all about. It's about loving Krishna. It's about loving relationships between us, which makes us strong, stronger. And we can go out and approach people and give them Krishna. But if we're not strong, we're not going to give them anything because they're not going to accept it. We have to be strong in our understanding of Krishna consciousness. And we have to be excited. The question to you all is, if you don't give Krishna to somebody, who will? Who's going to do it if we don't do it? We got this one embodiment. Let's use it for Krishna's purpose, not for our purpose. So Krishna explains that the material body is the field of activities, and its knowers are the soul and the super soul and Krishna. Knowledge. There's 20 elements that Krishna outlines in the Bhagavad Gita. I'll give you a few, but you got to read it. You got to come back to the temple to find out the rest. Humility is one. Tolerance is one. Pridelessness, nonviolence, to name a few. Now, he explains to Arjuna that the living entity in the material world associates with the modes of nature. These are goodness, passion, and ignorance, you all. They're called gunas. These are ropes that bind the soul to the material world. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So just because you're doing something good, it doesn't mean you're not binding yourself up. And what does that bound means? It means you're riding the samsara. You're riding this merry-go-round, this cycle of birth and death. This is foreign to us, being embodied. It's important to understand it's not how we should be. But because we haven't been taught the right way, we think that these bodies we can enjoy. And even worse than that, with these bodies, we think we can control. We think we're important. We're so minuscule, 1/10,000th the size of a tip of a hair, Krishna explained. We are not important in this grand scheme of things unless we're connected to Krishna. Disconnected, we're nothing. Just like a grain of sand on a beach. How important is a grain of sand on the beach? On Lake Michigan over here? Not very important. But what if you think about all the grains of sand on that beach, on the ocean beaches, on the ocean floor? It's like that, you all. But our false ego, our disease, tells us we should be the ones that people listen to or cater to. The real enjoyer is Krishna, not us. Krishna explains that he's the seed-giving father in nature. The living beings, we, get conditioned by the modes of material nature. These modes compete for prominence, and they influence our actions. And this is a hard one, you all. They influence our destination. We're eternal beings. Where is our destination taking us? Now, Krishna explains about this banyan tree. He explains the reason we're so messed up, you all, is because we're trying to enjoy things in a mirror-like world. This banyan tree, it's like a tree that's it's described as a tree that's reflected on a reservoir of water, where its branches go down and its trunk and roots go up. And in this banyan tree, in this illusion, we try to get the fruits out of this illusory images. These are illusory images. And we do it over and over again. We do it lifetime after lifetime. We just keep doing it. It's time to stop it. It's time to realize that this is an illusion. How many people have ever dreamed at night in sleep? Quite a few. Okay, now think about it. Next time you have a dream, or even in past remembrance of past dreams, your mind is taking you on a trip. It seems real. But when you realize it, ask yourself, okay, if I'm in the dream, who's watching the dream? Who's watching me watch the dream? And when you figure that out, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say Aham Brahmasmi. You're a spirit soul, you're not the body. You forget about those dreams sometimes as quickly as soon as you wake up. But while you were there in it, it seemed real. That's the way this longer duration of dream we call life in the material world is. It's just that. It's just an illusion that lasts a little bit longer. And because it's a little bit longer, we think it to be real. Krishna describes the godly and the demoniac personalities. This is a good section here, you all. When we get to explaining this in the temple, you're gonna raise your eyebrows because you're gonna see the destination that one attains: a godly personality versus a demoniac personality, elevation or degradation. And he says about the three modes, he tells Arjuna that the three modes determines one's faith in Krishna. And he says it can be known by one's foods, one's sacrifices, austerities, and charity. So just sometimes when you're maybe out and about and you see people buying their food, just think about the consciousness that that displays of the person that's buying whatever they're buying. I'll leave that as that. So we're about to recap this now. The main emphasis of the first part of the Gita is on karma yoga and the identity of the living being, spirit, soul, not physical body. It gives the beginning understanding of the characteristics of the living entity, material nature, and the Supreme Lord. The second part, the middle 6 chapters, describes bhakti yoga or direct surrender unto Sri Krishna. That's the essence of the Gita. And we must practice bhakti through chanting, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and rendering some service here. Sadhu Sangha, Association of Devotees. That's how you get it. That's how I got here. I can bear witness, as they say. How did you come to Krishna consciousness? The devotee gave me a back to Godhead in 1972. Can you imagine? A little kid from the west side of Chicago. I had been searching all my life. Different religions, multiple religions. The Theosophical Society, I was studying there. The I Am Temple, I was studying there. Krishna saw my sincerity in my search. Out of nowhere comes a devotee, gives me a back to Godhead. And I read it and it just like exploded in my consciousness. Everything that I was looking for, my questions were being answered. And this is how you'll be when you stay with this Bhagavad Gita. Try to understand it, try to do some service, and let your heart and your mind open. You'll see with your transcendental vision what I'm talking about. The last 6 chapters more elaborately describe the living entity, material nature, and the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. Proper knowledge helps us in developing detachment from matter and subsequent attachment to Krishna. This knowledge serves as the doorway by which we enter into bhakti, love and devotion to Krishna, understand who we truly are, and get off the merry-go-round of birth and death. Why am I here? Because I wanted to be my karma. I wanted to enjoy it some kind of way in the material world, and Krishna gives us a body so that we can enjoy. even though he doesn't want us to do that. It's like if you had a child that went to prison. You wouldn't want that child to be in prison. You wouldn't stop loving that child, even though he's in prison. But you always encourage him to reform. And that's where we are. Krishna, we're in the reformatory here. We can be reformed. We're in the shower. We're cleaning up. Who am I? I'm a spirit soul. I'm an eternal living being. And I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. Who is Krishna? Who is God? He's the super soul. He's the cause of all causes. It's supreme absolute truth. There's no truth greater than Krishna. And what's our goal of life? The magic words, you all, I've been saying. Prema, love, love for Krishna. That's our goal. Everything that we do should be giving us the opportunity to more and more learn how to love Krishna. Because that's all we got. That's the only thing that's real in this material world that's not temporary. We got families that are temporary. We go to school, it's temporary. We drive an automobile, it's a temporary situation. We'll get another one at some point. We like somebody today and we don't like them tomorrow. Is that about time, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. I hope this helps us all to let's develop relationships with each other. Let's serve together and let's grow and see. Watch. I want to see Krishna reveal himself in your life, and then you come back and tell me how real Krishna is. That's what I challenge you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Wonderful message. He definitely gave us an action item to do. So, service is something which we should definitely do. If you need more help with what services you can be engaged in, please see me. We do have one announcement before you all leave. One second.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for today's and coming everybody for Sunday Feast class. I know it's a prasadam time. I don't want to take your time much. I just have one quick announcement, which is very very important. As Prabhu told, the service and the seva, like everything with what we do on Sunday Feast. Today, I was like from the council member. I would like express my gratitude to the pot washing team that they have been doing this service from last 2 years.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Because as we go for the prasadam, we have prasadam nicely, we really relish prasadam. But you see in the kitchen, then we see the mountain of pots which is piled up. So I just want to express my deepest gratitude to them. So please encourage them whenever you see them, meet them. Just give your appreciation to them. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Ja.
Thank you
Glory
so
to my
much.
Guru Maharaj.
Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. So, next part of the program is to go upstairs. You will have prasadam there. And then you please come back. We do have kirtans here lined up for you till 8 o'clock. Thank you. It's wonderfully done. I loved it. It was very simple.
I try to keep it simple, but it's so big.
I have Mother's Day is not easy to make it simple.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णाय पुतले श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवंशेन निर्विशेष शून्यवादी प्रसाद देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर सद्गुरु Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Can you just Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Kishore, Kishore, Jaya Kishore, Kishore, Jaya Kishore, Kishore, Jaya Kishore, Kishore. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Not to be rude, guys, but this is the best kitchen I've ever heard in my entire life. Excuse you. Don't be so heard you.
Which one? This one? It's heavy? No. Oh, okay. Put it back. Put it back. Are you going to do mridanga? Oh, thank you. जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Kishore, 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 Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Leave it there. No, leave it there. Hare Krishna, everybody. So, the closer you come to, the closer we are together, it will be the best. To have the experience of Kirtan is something very, very special. Kirtan is glorifying Krishna, but Sankirtan is something very, very special.
Sankirtan is when we come together, when we do it as a community. So if you like, come closer. We're going to be singing for the next 30 minutes. So the closer we are to each other, the better we have the experience. So you can sing after me. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva. Let's do it one more time. Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva. Gatiranyata. Gatiranyata. You know what that means? Lord Chaitanya tells us that there is no other way, no other way, no other way in this age of Kali to achieve the highest destination that to chant the holy names, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Chan Chan Chan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chan Chan Chan, can't hear you. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh. Okay, everybody, clap your hands, chant out, raise your arms. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Harinam, Harinam. Violin, 10. Now clap your hands. Radhe, Radhe. Go, go. Bolo, 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 bolo. Radhe, Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chan chan chan. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Hop. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radhe Radhe. Bolo Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radhe. Govinda 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 Govinda. Govinda 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 Govinda. Govinda Hare Gopala Hare. 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 Oh Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Hey! Bolo bolo. Jaya Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Govinda Hare Gopala Hare. Govinda Hare Gopala Hare. Govinda Hare Gopala Hare. Govinda Hare Gopala Hare. Listen, listen. Jaya Nanda Nandana Shama Hare. Jaya Jaya Nanda Nandana Shama Hare. Jaya Jaya Nanda Nandana Shama Hare. Jaya Krishna Hare Jaya Rama Hare. Jaya Krishna Hare Jaya Rama Hare. Jaya Jaya Nanda Nandana Shama Hare. Jaya Jaya Nanda Nandana Shama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Oh! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, 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 bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, chan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gora. हो राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा बोलो राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा हो राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा राधे राधे बोलो राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा 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 बोलो गोविंदा 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 राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे बोलो राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा बाजे राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा ओ राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा ओ बोले राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा 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 जय राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा जय go जय clap, clap. राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा हो राधे 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 गोविंदा हो 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 राधे 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 गोविंदा हो राधे 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 गोविंदा हो राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा बजे राधे गोविंदा जय राधे गोविंदा हो निताई गौरंगा निताई गौरंगा हो निताई गौरंगा जय निताई गौरंगा निताई गौरंगा जय निताई गौरंगा बोलो निताई गौरंगा जय निताई गौरंगा ओ निताई 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 गौरंगा Nitai, 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 Gauranga. Nitai, Gauranga, nitai, Gauranga. Oh, nitai, Gauranga, nitai, Gauranga. Jaya, Jaya, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya, Prabhupada. Nitai, Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura, Hari Bol. Nitai, Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura, Hari Bol. Nitai, Gaura! Nitai, Gaura! Nitai, Gaura! Nitai, Gaura, Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Sama Beta Bhakta Vrinda ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Shishi Kishor Kishori ki. Shishi Gaura Nitai ki. Sri Jagannath, Sri Baladev, Srimati Subhadra Maharani ki. Sri Sevakum Dhama ki. Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Radhe Shyam.